Hey, beautiful.
Hi, gorgeous. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep my phone from falling over here. I'm just
The
trying to
same.
straighten it up. Can you see me okay?
Yes, you look absolutely gorgeous. I love
Oh,
the.
thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love that orange. That's super cute.
Thank you. Thank you. You look beautiful yourself.
Thank you.
How are you?
How is quarantine? I'm good. How's quarantine?
Oh, quarantine is, I'm hanging in there, girl. Look, I'm doing my own makeup, hair, lighting,
Look,
camera work.
you have it down. You are Zoom ready. You have lighting down. You have makeup down. Look, help us
My
out.
husband's my director, technician. He's my DP. It's hysterical.
I mean,
Whew.
talk about a teamwork. This is the time, right?
Yes, it is.
Yes. So thank you so much, Lisa, first of all, for talking to us today. I'm so excited about you. So many people have been DMing me, oh, I love her. I love her. I'm like, same.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you so much. That means a lot to me. I love my fans. I live for my peeps that support me and show me so much love. I just have a lot of gratitude for that in my heart.
Yes. And I have to say, I love your sister in Life with Mikey. I have to say that. I watched that movie like over and over and over when I was a kid.
Yes.
Yes. Love that.
That's
So,
my
Lisa,
baby girl.
yes, let's get into it. So your career, Lisa, spans over 30 plus years. You started acting at 14. Like,
Yes.
what was it that made you say, okay, this is the career path that I want to take at such an early age?
Well, when I was always a performer. As a little girl, I loved music. I was that kid that would get up and imitate the family or make them laugh, or sing. I was always singing. If there was, a talent contest at camp, I was like, oh, I want to be in it. I want to be on stage.
Right.
Signing myself up for everything. And it's what I loved. I think I loved the idea of playing pretend and playing and making believe I was somebody else, living a different life. And that all fascinated me. And I always loved singing. So
Yes, you have a beautiful voice.
thank
Let's get into your latest show that I'm obsessed with. I absolutely love it. The Baker Beauty. I love this show so much, Lisa. You play Mari, the matriarch of the Garcia family.
Yes.
Tell us, what was it about this character that you said, okay, I can bring her to life on screen. I know her. I can do this. What was it about this character?
I think the fact that, she wasn't so stereotypically written was exciting to me. And she was sassy and she still had love for her man and she was still sexy, but yet she was like this loving mother, completely dedicated to her family, and strong, because I like playing them strong women.
And you are. High five.
Thank you, mamas.
Yeah.
And you know what? And she was a positive role, role model for a Latina mom on television. And so there was a lot. I knew, I recognized who Mari was right away, and I knew I could bring a lot of myself into Mari, play her to be the kind of woman that I want to portray.
Yeah.
So that's what made it all exciting for me.
I love that the show follows the Garcias. They're an entrepreneurial Latino family. Did you feel at all like an excitement and a responsibility to show the Latino culture at its best and not necessarily a stereotype that, oftentimes
Absolutely.
you see? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I've never been into playing roles that were like negatively stereotypical caricature of Latinos, especially a Latino family. And what I love about our show is that it's not about a cartel. It's not about, drug pin or prostitution ring or child abuse or, so many of those negative stereotypes that are consistently perpetuated. And I'm not saying that stories can't be told, but if it's just the same story over and over again, it's sort of like a brainwashing. And I feel like sometimes, Latinos, it's nice to see ourselves in a different light. It's nice to see ourselves like who we really are, who most of us are, which is loving people. We have families and jobs, and we're, we participate in society, and we're the biggest minority. It's, I want to contribute to that. So I felt like The Baker and the Beauty was the perfect project to support and be a part of.
And I feel at the end of the day, you guys bring this family to life where it could be any family. It could be a white family, a black family.
That's right.
It could be any family. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Did you pull from elements of your own family for this part?
Absolutely. I have 3 grown children.
Yes.
I have 2 boys and a girl, 27, soon to be 22, and my daughter will be 17 in the summer. So.
And you look 25.
Oh, you are too kind, girl. I will take that, girlfriend. I will take that every day.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, look, I'm trying to keep it real. I'm like, keep it together here.
Right.
So yeah, I had, this was, it was almost too easy. You know what I'm saying with Mari as far as dealing with the kids, because I was like, oh, I got this. I know how to do this. I've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
So that part of it came very naturally and easy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also say, like, I've been with my husband. It's low battery. Sorry. I've been with my husband for 35 years, and we still happy each other. So that's another element that I loved about this character, that she was still very much in love with her husband. It wasn't like a negative, dysfunctional marriage like we always see. So that was another thing. I don't know if I can do that, baby. So it's not long enough. So those are definitely 2 elements that I felt attracted me to Mari, to playing Mari.
Will you go behind the camera for
Sorry,
the show?
he's fixing my charger.
Hey, plug this in.
Go ahead. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, honey.
Well,
But mommy, hold on 1 second. There you go.
Okay.
Don't disconnect me now, honey. Just a minute, baby.
Okay.
Just a minute. you know this. Look, I hope the fans love this because this is real.
This is real life. Look.
This is real life right now, okay? Hold on, you guys. Hold on. I gotta connect. Is it okay? Wait. This thing is not staying on, baby.
Move your finger.
Oh no, my getup is falling apart. Maybe I'll just hold it in my hand.
No, we're good.
We love it. The fans love it. So,
Girl, I'm
and the
getting a
fan.
flat.
We love the fan.
The
moment.
fan. Flat. Hot flash. I'm getting one on camera as we speak. Okay, thank God. Woo, we figured that out. Sorry
Okay.
about
You ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay. Will you want to go behind the camera on this show? Will you want to write or direct an episode, or were you able to do that with the show?
Oh my goodness, I hope to.
Yeah.
I would love to direct an episode. I would love it. I want to produce. I want to direct. I want to expand. I've always been definitely a creative person, and I love every aspect of it. So yeah, hopefully one day I can do that.
The show is based in Miami, but you guys filmed in Puerto Rico. How was that? What was that like?
Oh my God. It was magical. Puerto Rico was magical. I had not been to Puerto Rico since I was 17 years old, and I was only there for like 5 days. I was born and raised in New York City, but my mom was born in Puerto Rico, and my dad's family's from Puerto Rico. So spending 5 months there was glorious. It was like a reawakening of who I am and why I am the way I am, why my family is the way they are. It's just like I fell in love all over again with being Puerto Rican, and just everything about it. It was like, oh my God, this is why. This is why I love it here. This is why I am the way I am. And one of the funniest things that I told all my girlfriends, I was like, girl, everybody got a big butt here. I feel right at home.
I love it.
This is fabulous. I belong here. I was like, I belong here. This is and so they embrace it. And that's a beautiful thing. And their men love it. I was like,
I love it. Look,
okay.
You were right at home.
I was right at home. I was like, this is fabulous.
I love it. Lisa, what will viewers get that have not already tuned into the show, which you guys need to go and tune in on the app, abc.com. What will people get from this show when they watch it?
Well, I'm so happy you asked that question because it kind of lends to something else that you said that's so important, in that this is a show where it can be any family. It can be any ethnicity. And for me, like, I hope that, all the black and the brown and the vanilla, everybody watches it, because it's a family. That's all. It's like, I just, the same way I watch the Cosby Show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's a family.
Exactly.
And that is what I love about our show, is that, you know, there's not one character and not one element about this family that not everybody can relate to. You know, there's something for everybody in our show. It's got the hoopla of the celebrity world. It's got the fabulous soundtrack. It's got the romance. It's got the comedy, and it's got some really beautiful, driven, dramatic stuff that the family goes through. So it's just full of just fun and deliciousness, and I think it's just perfect for everybody. If you're, you know, obviously stuck at home and we have to stay quarantined, it's sort of like that perfect show that's going to make you feel, oh, I love this. I feel good. I love my family. Oh, look at that family, you know?
Right. And the deliciousness, because those pastries, I'm like, wait a minute.
We were eating the pastries, by the way, contributing to the booty.
Oh, man. Okay, so moving along on your impressive career journey. So obviously we all loved you and watched you for 5 seasons on Being Mary Jane. Cara, we loved you. We loved how strong you were, how you stood up for your girlfriend. We loved what you brought. You were, it's like it couldn't have been that show without you, I feel.
Amen. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. I received that. Thank you.
Created by the incredible Mari Garcia.
Yep.
What was that experience like, working with that cast and that crew for that time period?
Well, it was, you know, Gabrielle and I really kind of didn't have any idea what we were coming into, right? Playing these characters. I had not met Gabrielle. We met briefly during one of the first reading of the first episode. I had friends who knew her and had worked with her and stuff. So, you know, we got together, we chatted, and we talked about these women and these characters, and we immediately started to work on our bond and becoming friends in real life, like getting to know each other. And it was super important to us because, you know, in television these days, most women don't want to share the screen with another beautiful woman or a strong woman or a talented woman. And Gabrielle was very gracious, and, you know, it really helped our chemistry. And just me by nature, I'm a very embracing person. I don't need to know that much about you or but too long to just love you, because that's just how I am and who I am. So working on that chemistry between the two of us, and the both of us wanting to represent these strong, powerful women who were still vulnerable and kind of hitting bumps on the road through life, which is very real, and expressing that in a super vulnerable way. And of course, Mari Garcia, off the chart writer.
Yes.
Right? I mean, off the chart. And what I loved about Mara too was that, you know, she was like, Lisa, I don't know how to write for a Latina. I need you to teach me. And I mean, what a gift is that, right? I mean, that's huge, huge.
Because you're able to be the voice and give you.
Yes. And Mara just wanted to embrace all of that. And Gabrielle and I were just such good partners. Like, if she threw the ball, I was ready to catch it. If I threw the ball, she was ready to catch it. And that is what makes for great television and great scenes and juicy, good stuff.
I mean, you guys had really great chemistry. It resonated on screen. Speaking of, you were able to also show your real life cancer story on the show. So a lot of people were made aware by you being on the show. And a lot of people were like, wait a minute, does she really have cancer? Was that your idea to bring that to the show, or?
Well, that they actually approached me to ask me how I felt about sharing my story on the show. And so that was my story in real life. And I was happy to tell it. It was hard. It was hard. And the one thing I said was, okay, I will share my story, but Cara can't die. You can't kill me.
Right.
She's a survivor, and she lives through it, so you cannot kill me.
I love that, Lisa. I love that.
Yeah.
Let's get into that a little bit. So you initially went to the doctor for, because you had like low abdomen pain. Is that correct? And
That's
then,
right.
can you go into detail about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 2 weeks prior to my diagnosis, I was with my sister who had been diagnosed, and I flew from LA to San Francisco where she was to be with her. And I had, I thought I had a UTI. I was kind of feeling this weird discomfort, and I was like, I just, I'm thinking I'm going to go see my doctor. And I called him and I was like, hey, when I get back and I come in, I'm feeling this. He was like, yeah, absolutely. He says, you're going to be leaving to work soon anyway, so let's get you in here and do the whole shebang. Right. And so I went to my OBGYN, and he always does an ultrasound every single visit, because breast cancer and cancer runs in my family. My mother had it, her sister, now my sister and myself. So we were very diligent about our checkups, but the ultrasound is what saved all our lives, because they found it early. And he found it was there, and he was like, this will be biopsied, and it was terrifying. And I was like, what? Wait a minute, what are the chances? I just came from my sister. We had the same cancer. Her double mastectomy was first, and then mine. My parents were besides themselves. Flew to her first to be with her, then flew to me to be with me. But in a way, it was a blessing, because we went through it together, and we were there for each other. So we knew exactly what the other person was feeling. Right. And so we were a great comfort to each other,
You've been very vocal about early detection and ultrasounds. Why is it important for women to ask for second opinions, and why is it important for them to, if they don't feel right about something, to say, okay, let me go in and see what's going on?
It's important because fear is a bad thing. Fear is what keeps a lot of women, especially women of color, women, I know for sure women in my community, women in your community as a whole, we're afraid, so we don't want to know. So we don't get checked. So we want to avoid it, and then sadly, a lot of times it isn't until you actually feel something that's big enough to really feel weird that, you address it. And even sometimes women don't do that because they're so terrified. And it's heartbreaking to me, and I understand that fear all too well. But what I say is, it's better to face the fear and deal with it, so that, because when you do an ultrasound instead of just mammogram, it's like, mammogram is trying to find the snowflake in the snowstorm. So you don't see it until it's much bigger, right? Ultrasound, they catch it very early. They can see it. Okay. So that's why I really believe in early detection. That's why I'm fighting for insurance companies to cover it, not it as a luxury or an extra. It's a necessity, and it should, it should be demanded. And I want all our communities to understand how important it is to demand that, request it, talk about it, and for us to be there for one another, educate each other about those things and what the options are. Yes. Because a lot of lives can be saved, if you catch it early enough, most of the time it's curable.
Your story, I think, resonated with so many people was because we saw it on the show, and then like you came out about it, later. And so we were able to see somebody like yourself, somebody that people watched week in and week out, going through this real life thing on TV, but also in real life. And I think that really touched me. I actually watched, in real time when you were on the show going through that. And I was like, man, let me feel myself. I think that it helped women to think and tap into, is something wrong with me? Let me check it out. So thank you for sharing that story, Lisa. Lisa, speaking of quarantine and this glam.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about the melasma that you have and how you're using this time during quarantine to make yourself up, as you've done beautifully, and show people that you don't have to, you can do your makeup yourself, and you can, cover your melasma or any skin pigmentation issues that you have on your own. Speak to us about that. You're so inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously.
You made my day. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I got melasma. It started coming out in my 40s. And it, literally from one day to the next, I had these spots coming out on my face. And I was like, what is that?
Right.
And, you know, for the most part, I always had good skin, never had any issues or problems. Went to my dermatologist and she was like, ooh, sweetie, I'm so sorry to tell you, but you have melasma and there's no cure. And I was like, what? Girl, I started making phone calls all like, Mommy, who had melasma? Who gave me melasma? I was like, because she was like, it's hereditary and this and that. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna track it down. It was super dev. I was like, couldn't it have come out on my butt? I mean, couldn't it, right?
That would have been the perfect spot.
Had to be on my damn face. Okay, so I was like, God, another challenge. Okay,
Another, but you handled it gracefully.
Another challenge. So, it was a hard thing, man. I had to figure it out. I didn't quite understand it. You know, it gets darker in the sun. Sometimes certain SPFs make it worse.
Wow.
You know, certain medications you can use to fade it a little bit, make you more sensitive in the sun so that it's more damaging. It's just a mess. And you know, my thing was always like, damn it, we could fly somebody to space, but y'all can't come up with a cure for melasma.
What's going on?
It's so irritating. So little by little, I learned. And, you know, it's funny because I really should do a makeup tutorial because a lot of people ask me about this.
On YouTube. Yeah. I was going to say that.
A lot of people ask me about this. And, you know, you get so good at covering it because it's just the bane of my existence, right? So I use a combination of concealers and I use a really, really great foundation that I love. And, you know, Armani should be paying me for this is all I'm saying.
They need to send the coins. Armani,
you know
send the coins.
And the MAC Sticks concealers are incredible. And so I really, it's all about layering, you guys. Okay. It's all about layering on the face. When you're trying to cover, you go in, you know, with a good brush. You go in, I use the Beauty Blender sponge, which was created by my girlfriend, Rianne Silva, the Beauty Blender.
I love the Beauty Blender.
My girl.
Yes.
Anyway, she was my makeup artist way back and she did Vivica Fox. And then she was like, I got to come up with this product. She came up with that little egg. So I use that to, after I brush and, you know, just kind of get in there. I just, with the Beauty Blender, I blend layers and layers and layers so that you get a good coverage. The trick is though, is the colors that you use, right? Because you can't be blending with one color and then you put foundation on that's a different color and then you look green, you know, you have patches. Okay. So that's why I think I should do a tutorial because how I go in there with it and how I do it, it's a process. It's a process.
We're waiting for the tutorial.
Girl, I'm gonna set it up.
Look, set up the tutorial. You have a little time on your hands, so set up the tutorial.
Absolutely.
Lisa, thank you so much for being who you are, and thank you for taking the time to educate us today on early detection. Thank you for sharing with us your new show, Baker and the Beauty. Tell people where they can watch it on ABC and what times. Well,
you can watch the Baker and the Beauty on ABC Monday nights at 10 p.m. And if you haven't tuned in yet, please go on Hulu or ABC.com. You can watch the 2 episodes that have already aired. And then you can tune in this coming Monday. I believe it's the 27th. At 10 p.m. on ABC to watch the 3rd episode. And you guys will not be sorry. And I just want to say thank you to you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and to share this platform with you. And I'm so grateful. And I love my women, all my women, and my men, but I'm just saying women power. You know what I'm saying?
Women power.
That's right. I love y'all. I love men too.
Love you, Lisa.
I love y'all. Thank you, sweetheart.
Don't forget to do that tutorial.
I promise. I'm set up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Love
sweetheart.
You. Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you too.